All right, welcome in. It is a Thursday, and you are locked into the Sports Huddle on SEMO ESPN. 1220 AM, 93.5 on the FM dial, and we're always online at SEMOESPN.com. Eric Sean flying solo today. We'll be joined a little later on in the show. Second half of the show, Michael Minner, who is the head coach of the A-Corp Fighting Squirrels baseball team. Babe Ruth Midwest Plains Regional gets underway today in about 50 minutes from right now. 8 teams getting ready to compete, and the winner of the Midwest Plains Regional will advance to the Babe Ruth World Series. The last 2 years, it has been held at Kappaugh Field in Cape Girardeau. It is in Ocala, Florida today, so they'll be crowning a champion on Sunday. Everything gets going at 10 a.m., 8 teams, and we'll crown a champion on Sunday. The opening ceremonies are, first game, first of all, 10 a.m. A couple of teams from Colorado are in town, and the Fighting Squirrels will be playing a team from Colorado at 6:30 tonight, Centennial, Colorado. So the Squirrels were eliminated from the Missouri State Tournament, but they are hosting the Midwest Plains Regional, so you get a do-over. If you're the host program, you get an automatic entry into the regional. Just like the last couple of years, the Squirrels got an automatic entry into the World Series in Cape Girardeau, but they earned their way and they won back-to-back state championships. So they will be in action now. The opening ceremonies, they'll have all the teams on the field, all 8 of them at 6:15. They've got all kinds of festivities. I think they've got bouncy houses, all kinds of things for the kids there. They've got multiple grills. Our buddy Glenn Fennell will have the grills fired up, and this guy can freaking cook. He is a barbecue master, so the food is going to be outstanding. It always is. They've got a phenomenal concession stand. If you've never been to Hill House Park in Charleston, it is fantastic. And the field itself, well, we'll just have to see. The field is in great shape, but we will try to dodge weather. I think there's a chance, like a 40+% chance, rain later this afternoon in Charleston. They'll cross their fingers. They do not have turf, and it's a big yard. If you've never been there, it's as big as Kappaugh. It's 400, actually 398 to center. It is 380 to the alleys, 330 down the lines. I mean, it's just like Kappaugh Field. So it is a big yard. You've really got to jack one to get it out, but it should be some fun baseball. GSR Elite, who the Squirrels will play tomorrow, they are coming off the Missouri State Championship in Babe Ruth baseball. So that's who the Squirrels get in Game 2, but they'll be in action at 6:30. Michael Minner previewing everything that's going on over at Hill House Park and this big regional tournament. He'll be joining us coming up around 9:40 this morning. I want to give you the numbers here. The EBOMD Huddle Hotline numbers are 573-334-1220. 573-334-1220. The Huddle Hotline powered by EBOMD, flying solo, so hit the Huddle Hotline. We are broadcasting from the Yuengling Sports Huddle Studios. Yuengling, the iconic American lager, America's oldest brewery. And if you've not downloaded our free app, make sure you jump on that. Free of charge. Take up minimal space on your phone. Just go to your app store, search for SEMO ESPN. It's got lots of goodies according to the app. It's got the Listen Live link. You can listen wherever you are as long as you've got cell service. It's got the Listen Live link, links to all of our contests and promotions, the latest breaking news, the latest radar weather forecast, and it's got a link to our podcast page. You can go back and listen to any of the SEMO Scrambles with Rusty Hendricks. You can find our Sports Huddle podcast page. You miss a show, go back and see what nonsense we're talking about. Mike Rennick, by the way, going to rejoin us tomorrow morning. I don't know. What's he been on vacation all week? We'll get to the bottom of it. Rennick back in studio tomorrow for a Friday Sports Huddle. No baseball today. Sometimes you get a game or two before everybody else resumes after the All-Star break. That's not the case today. It's a full day off in Major League Baseball, and then it's a full day of action tomorrow. So you've got weekend series. Cubs are hosting the Red Sox. That's going to be a fun series. And, of course, the Cardinals will be playing in the desert. So it'll be an 8:40 first pitch tomorrow night. I still do not see the pitching pairings. They have not released those yet. According to ESPN, they're usually pretty good at getting the pitching pairings out there. But as of now, we don't have anything. You want to hang on? I've got the if you haven't seen the new Superman movie, neither have I. Will this movie review from the great Mike Francesca sway your opinion on whether or not you'll see the Superman movie? But first, let's head to the EBOMD Huddle Hotline and take our first caller of the day. Woo! What do you think of the tone of that caller's voice? Not sure I'm a fan. I didn't get to the phone quick enough. 334-1220, the EBOMD Huddle Hotline number. 334-1220. I think for the most part, most reviews were very positive about the All-Star game. We talked about the max peak rating of the Home Run Derby. It peaked at 6.3 million. It was the most watched television show, cable, regular TV on Monday night. And then Tuesday night, we had the All-Star game. And the ratings, according to Fox, 7.2 million. It's a really good rating. And Fox promoting the fact that it is still reigning as the most watched all-star event in sports. That's not a surprise. I think you talk to most people, and they're going to say, okay, name me the best of the all-star games in the, or just if you want to go festivities. I mean, if you're talking NBA, clearly they don't play defense in that game, and it wears a lot of people out. We almost had 200 points scored in the last NBA All-Star game. So in terms of actual competition, bit of a joke. They've got the slam dunk. They've got the three-point shootout. Some of those festivities, those are good, even though a lot of people will trash the home run derby. I think most people like the three-point shootout. A lot of people still like the dunk contest. But you know how some people are. We've seen it all. There are no new dunks, and they're bringing up guys from the G League to compete in the dunk contest. Okay, fans seem to like it. A lot of people show up to watch it. Fun event, but the All-Star game itself, not a competition. The NHL, you see a lot of goals, and when they're going with four-man hockey, I think we can get behind a fast-paced all-star game. They've tried to change it up. This past year, the all-star festivities were fantastic, right? USA and Canada, I mean, those were exciting things. So I would say the NHL probably slots behind Major League Baseball. Now, we know about the Pro Bowl, NFL. I mean, it's been reduced to flag football. They're literally playing flag football. Kind of fun, but it's not as competitive as the baseball all-star game. And I say competitive, you're talking about guys that are pumping triple digits. You don't think they're trying to compete? You think Paul Skeens was not competing out there on the mound, or Tarek Skubal? By the way, with Skubal, I didn't realize this. So he gives up 2 soft contact hits. I mean, Ohtani basically threw his bat at the ball and blooped one into shallow left center field. So it was 2 soft contact hits allowed by Skubal. And then Ketel Marte hits a worm burner down the first base line. He was late on the Skubal fastball. and down the right field line into the corner for 2 runs. I think he had gone 8 consecutive starts without giving up 2 runs, and he had not given up 3 hits in an inning in any start this year. So for the National League to jump on him like that was something that he really wasn't used to. Most people, I think, gave it a positive review. Certainly the fact that it was a sellout in Atlanta. The fans wanted to be there for not only the home run derby, but also for the All-Star game itself. Always one to poo-poo things that potentially fans of a particular sport, like Christopher Mad Dog Russo. He was on First Take yesterday telling everybody, can we calm down?
Number 2, we made a big deal about the Milwaukee pitcher being in the All-Star game, which he shouldn't have been in because he only had the 5 starts, 25 innings. He pitches the 8th inning. He was not Mariano Rivera, okay? Number 1, everybody raving about his 102-mile-an-hour fastball. Everybody throws 102 miles an hour. Number 2, he gave up rockets in this game. Arizamino, the kid from the Mariners, almost hit the ball out of left center field, and then Tatis almost had his head cut off on a shot to right, so we can take it easy with him. That's number 2. Number 3, listen, I love Henry Aaron. I've had him on a million times. I love Henry Aaron, and I love what they did. Where's Kirk Gowdy when they did the thing in the bottom of the 6th inning? He called the game on NBC in 1974. You were not alive. You were not alive. I was 30. I remember it. He called the game. They used Scully, who did the radio call. Milo Hamilton, I don't have a problem with the Braves. Where's Kurt? Kurt was one of the great broadcasters of all time, and they never used his voice in that bottom of the 6th inning.
All right, so what they did was, first of all, everybody doesn't throw 102, okay? They just don't. Secondly, he's upset because Mizorowski gave up rockets. Okay. How about Skubal giving up soft contact in 2 runs? If Mizorowski gives up some hard contact, he didn't give up a run. Pitched a scoreless inning. Kid was probably nervous. He threw a 98-mile-an-hour slider, for goodness sakes. He pumped 102 in there. Fans wanted to see 102. So, Doggy poo-pooing some things. And the Kurt Gowdy thing, first of all, being a broadcaster and somebody who appreciates not only the history of the sports, multiple sports, but also the broadcasters. If you listen to all 3 calls of Henry Aaron's 715th home run, April 8th, 1974, what they did for the Hank Aaron tribute was they used part of Vin Scully's broadcast for the actual home run itself. And I'm a huge Scully guy, and I'm not a big Milo Hamilton guy. And the reason is he trashed Harry Carey in his book, Milo Hamilton, who has since passed away. In fact, all of them have passed away, Vin Scully and Kurt Gowdy. I've heard Gowdy's call. It's okay. Milo Hamilton's call was superb, and so was Scully's. And part of Scully's call was after he hit the home run, talking about how great of a moment it was for the United States. He talked about Georgia, for baseball, for Henry Aaron, and America, because a black man was getting a standing ovation in the Deep South. That's a quote from Scully's broadcast in 1974. I don't think it was a diss of Kurt Gowdy. And Doggy was not 30 years old in 1974. He just talked about, well, you weren't born. I was 30. He wasn't born in 44. Come on. Complete over-exaggeration. It's fine that they didn't use Kurt Gowdy's call. Raise your hand if you've ever heard Kurt Gowdy's call. No, because the calls that you hear that have really been archived are Scully and Milo Hamilton. So I don't have a problem with that. Most people that I have read and I have listened to gave a thumbs up for the swing-off. The home run derby style swing-off at the end of the game. Now, and keep in mind, there are no games to talk about. We can talk a little bit about the ESPYs last night. And the host, Shane Gillis, I think that was the story of the ESPYs. I don't know if you watched it. If not, we'll give you a little recap of just what Gillis said, the host. They won't be having him back. Let's face it, ESPN, Disney, very left-leaning organization. You know, whatever your politics are, but I think that's pretty clear. Gillis kind of didn't care about that. But most of the reviews on the swing-off, very positive. It was exciting. The thing that I like the most, and I think you've got to really take it into consideration, is the players. None of them were in the dugout. They were out in front of the dugout. They were into every pitch. They were cheering. They were all over this swing-off. Tarek Skubal. Now, some people were like, okay, where was Ohtani? Where was Judge? Those are obvious guys you're going to put in the swing-off. So apparently the managers had to give 3 names just in case. I guess it's year 7, what I believe, for the swing-off rule. We just have never had it activated. A lot of these guys, once they're done in the All-Star game, I've been talking about the starters, so put Ohtani and Judge into that category. Most of the starters get showered, they get out of the ballpark, and they go on their little hiatus and their break, and I'm sure, they're going wherever they're going. Maybe they're going somewhere with a family, quick little vacation, whatever, but a lot of those guys who had already appeared in the game were showered and gone. Skubal hung around, got showered, came out in street clothes to watch the swing-off. I thought that was pretty cool. And now, one of the topics of discussion on Sports Talk Radio and sports television, because there aren't a lot of topics, there aren't active games unless you're breaking down the WNBA. No baseball. Break out your NFL top 10, on this radio station. Clinton Yates. They've been breaking down top 5 different things like quarterback, wide receiver duos, running backs, quarterbacks. Everybody's breaking out their lists right now. There aren't a lot of active topics right now. It's a slower time, especially when the only thing going on yesterday nationally, ESPYs. That's about it. So one of the topics has been, what about that swing-off? What about Major League Baseball using it as a test balloon and potentially discussing using it in a regular season game? What about one theory? Say you don't have the game, you put the free runner out there. It's not a ghost runner, by the way, the people that call it ghost runner. If you ever played baseball when you were young and you didn't have enough guys or gals to fill out an entire team and you were playing, you didn't have enough people to run the bases, then you would use a ghost runner where there's literally not a runner. Second base, there's a ghost runner. You got somebody at the plate, you get a base hit, you say, okay, the ghost runner would have scored. That's what a ghost runner is. They refer to it as a ghost runner. It's a free runner that they put on the bases in extra innings. What about if you have not decided the game in the 11th inning, going to something that's going to end it quickly? Home run swing off. Got a couple of pieces of sound for you. Tony Kornheiser, Michael Wilbon talking about the swing off yesterday on Pardon the Interruption.
I thought this morning, and then I talked to Buster Olney on my podcast, and he changed my mind how I felt about this. Let me just start by saying I'm okay with you ending an exhibition game this way. It's okay with me to have a swing off. The All-Star Game is a television show. This was good television. This may have even been great television. And I don't want to sit here, Mike, and say, because it's a game that doesn't count in the standings, I don't want to make it into Game 7 of the World Series. But my first reaction was, I'm not crazy about this. It's like a shootout in hockey. It's like if they went to a 3-point contest in the NBA. I thought an All-Star Game deserved probably better than this. And if you're going to do this, how can you not have Raleigh and Judge and Ohtani? I guess they were out of the game. They showered, they dressed, they may have left.
I didn't know the rules.
They may not have even been there.
Who's eligible?
But then I talked to Buster. And Buster is a baseball purist. And he said it was thrilling. He said he loved it. He said the people in the stands loved it. He said the other players loved it. They came out and they cheered for it. And I have to say that I was influenced by that he liked it so much. Just don't tell me that we're going to end every extra inning game this way in the regular season. Don't tell me that. It's taken me a year and a half to adjust to the Ghost Runner, and I think it's okay. But I think, Mike, if given the option, I think players would vote for this. I do. And Schwarber, as you said, was magnificent.
For an all-star game, fine. And the players were through. I don't want to see an extra inning all-star game. And I don't need that.
Right.
So to end it like this, it would be fine if they ended in a shootout. Again, Tony, I thought it was cheesy at the start. And then by the end of it, I was like, okay. Now, if it was somebody other than Schwarber who was the star, I might not feel that way.
I'm worried this will be the new rule in 2 years for all games, regular season games.
No, you can't.
Really?
I'll take the Ghost Runner. I'm not taking this.
It's quick. Okay, we'll see.
All right, so there's the discussion. Kornheiser had his mind changed. Some people dig in on certain things. Buster Olney turned him around. Tony Kornheiser has a podcast, still does a radio show in Washington, D.C. on a regular basis. They were talking about this on WFAN radio in New York. Topic of conversation, Sean Marash doing a show with Tiki Barber on radio, and they were talking about the swing off and could it actually work its way into the regular season?
Last night is a win for Major League Baseball.
Right.
Because that is a sport that doesn't do enough to garner national attention and national recognition. It was a win because they had something kooky happen at the end of a game that now left people wondering and interesting.
It's never coming to Major League Baseball. It's just going to be an all-star thing. There's no way that'll ever happen in a regular season game at all. I know it shortens games. It's actually fun. It's quick. Get it over with. Let's go. Perform on the moment, but that is never going to happen in a regular season game. And you know why?
Why?
Because history is too important to baseball geeks. Evan Roberts would come home if he heard that this was going to be part of Major League Baseball going forward.
It's not a matter of whether I want this to happen or won't it happen. I'm here to tell you, this is absolutely coming to the regular season. Baseball was happy that it went to a swing-off because the good test balloon is how do the fans react.
Yes.
And for an event that basically didn't have the start, people are talking about baseball. If you were to tell us 15, 20 years ago, we would be having runners put on second base in extra innings in Major League Baseball. Purists and everybody alike would have yelled and screamed, what are you talking about? Baseball will never do that. And for anybody who says, well, games are determined by 1 or 2 games in the standings, you can't be doing that. I would say nonsense. You're already putting a runner on second base. It's not real baseball.
Right.
This, after what we saw last night, is coming to the regular season. Everything is a test balloon. The ABS system, we're going to talk about that later on, test balloon.
Right.
Runner on second, the pandemic, all that stuff, test balloon. The swing off last night, Major League Baseball's had this rule for 7 years. They finally got it. And if you don't like it, and you don't want it in the regular season, guess what? Your positive reaction that everybody had last night, you're going to be partially to blame.
Well, do you really think there's a possibility, and I agree about the test balloon stuff. ABS, we already know. I mean, there are so many people that are reporting that Major League Baseball is going to implement it next year. And if Major League Baseball is looking for confirmation from its fan base, ABS and the way that it was instituted nationally for everybody to see, people aren't watching minor league games. They've been doing this for several years in the minor leagues, the ABS. They have worked out the kinks. It is almost automatic. The first ABS challenge, I timed it 13 seconds. There were 4 of them, and the other 3 were right in the 10-second range. 10 seconds. That's a guy getting out of the box adjusting his batting gloves. That is a pitcher grabbing the rosin bag, climbing up on the mound, and getting ready to listen to the ABS strapped to his hat. So all the reviews positive for the ABS. Reviews were positive about the swing-off. I'm not saying that the reviews were positive because fans want it to be implemented during regular season games. And it may not. But maybe it will be. I didn't hear a whole lot of people talking about the fact that they hated the swing-off, and the players really liked the swing-off. So, something to think about. Next year, we won't have labor strife. The following year, we will. Whether it's going to be a strike, a lockout, whatever it is, that's when the CBA runs out. Tony Clark for the Players Union already said just prior to the All-Star game, he drops this big bomb of a soundbite because the players are losing their minds that there potentially could be a salary cap. Well, baseball needs some sort of a cap. They've got kind of a cap with the luxury tax and things like that, but we're talking about a hard cap like the other sports have. And then you hear the term second tier now in the National Basketball Association. Teams don't want to pay the second tier taxing by going over the cap. Get penalized pretty heavily. Even more than a cap, I think there are a lot of people that follow baseball that say it needs a salary floor. You got to make the Marlins and Pirates spend freaking money because what? Revenue sharing, they get a ton of money, and they don't pump it back into salary. They don't pump it back into the organization. The owners pump it into their bank accounts. That drives the more wealthy franchises crazy. So salary floor, salary cap, but we're a ways away from the labor strife. But when they are negotiating this collective bargaining agreement, that's when they start working in things like ghost runner, pitch clock, the size of bases, disengagements from the rubber during a game, the rules that have been implemented to change baseball had to be collectively bargained. Might this be a topic when the CBA is being bargained after next season? Maybe. I think some people think that it will be. Tonight, and again, no baseball, but if you've got MLB Network, there will be a debut of a documentary. MLB does documentaries entitled Presents. The one that starts tonight, 7 o'clock Central Time on MLB Network, is about Dodgers first baseman Freddie Freeman. If you've never seen any things on Freddie Freeman, his upbringing, the whole drama last year with his little boy that got Guillain-Barré syndrome, he's had a fascinating life. Major League Baseball recognizes that. You've heard Freddie Freeman speak. If you know much about Freddie Freeman, maybe you already know a lot about his story. But here's Freeman with the MLB Network talking about the documentary, which debuts tonight at 7 o'clock.
For me, watching it for the first time and seeing my dad speak and talk about things, I saw a couple pictures of when I was younger. Obviously, we talk about my mom, too, and there you can hear my mom's voice in videos when I'm coming down a water slide when I'm got to be 3 or 4 years old. So hearing my mom's voice again, that's what kind of gets me and hits me and gets me kind of all emotional. So, yeah, like you can hear her saying my name right there, and yeah, it's gonna make me cry. You know, you guys know I like to cry and stuff, so you know, just it just pulls at the heartstrings. I miss my mom a ton, and seeing her on the videos, and then hearing my dad talk about how he thinks I've never really gotten over it, which I haven't. It's sad, but then it's also kind of inspiring that there's so many different routes and roads you can take in life, and so many hardships that happen, and you're still able to, get through it, and see my dad get through it, raise 3 boys as a single dad, mourn the loss of his wife, and just keep going. So hopefully it's an inspiration to a lot of people that have lost a parent as a young kid, that they're, that you can still find the right path and succeed in life.
Freddie Freeman, MLB Network tonight, 7 o'clock. MLB Presents documentary about Freeman. Looking for something to tune into tonight? How about that? Looking for something to watch? How about some summer baseball? Starts in about 25 minutes at Hill House Park in Charleston, the Midwest Plains Regional. The director of the regional, Michael Minner, head coach of the Squirrels. Next, it's the Sports Huddle on SEMO ESPN, 1220 AM, 93.5 on your FM dial. We're always online. You can find us at SEMOESPN.com. Eric Sean flying solo. We're in the Yuengling Sports Huddle Studios. Yuengling is the iconic American lager, America's oldest brewery, Yuengling. We are heading to the EBOMD Huddle Hotline. Baseball in full swing. And the head squirrel, Michael Minner, is at Hill House Park in Charleston. The Midwest Plains Regional starts in about 20 minutes from right now. Min, how are things at the ball yard?
Well, the field looks great. Looks like it's dry, so that's a bonus these days. So we've dodged some rain, and things are looking nice. We got game 1 getting ready to kick off, so we're excited to get underway and hope the weather cooperates this weekend.
All right, before we get to the regional, did you watch the All-Star game? What did you think of the Home Run Derby swing-off?
I didn't watch it. I saw some. I watched a couple early innings, but I'm zapped these days, so I was in bed at 9 o'clock, and obviously that took place after. So, but anything that ends in something other than somebody scoring a walk-off run, I'm not a fan of. So.
All right. Well, it's not like you got a little ball player running around your house these days, right?
Right. He's wearing me and my wife out. So, we got baseball, new principal job, and a 4-year-old. So life is fast-paced. And we're trying to make the most of it and get as much time with him as we can. So then whenever he goes down, it's time for me to go down so we can recharge our batteries.
Michael Minner, who is the head man of the A-Corp Fighting Squirrels. They've got the Midwest Plains Regional at Benny Hill House Memorial Park in Charleston starting in about 15 minutes from right now. You're a Cape Central grad, played baseball at Cape Central, played college baseball at William Woods. When you moved from Cape to Charleston, did you ever think you were going to be principal of the high school?
I did not. I come down here probably that first year, not really with the expectation of staying, just obviously came down, was fortunate to have a job, get a job in art, and know that I was going to be able to coach baseball and some other things, and it was a good opportunity to start. Fell in love with it. The people down here are tremendous. It's become a really, really great place to be. And this is where I'll retire and just absolutely love being here. So, but no, didn't expect to be here, but things change. And God put you in different places, and He put me here, and I've obviously been lucky and very, very fortunate to call this place home for the last 22 years.
All right, it's year 21 for the Squirrels. You founded this program in 2005. You took it on the chin the first couple of years. You were 8-27 year one. Yikes. 2006, 13-21, and then you started your run of 30-plus win seasons. And here we are in year number 21. You're looking for your 10th appearance in the Babe Ruth World Series. You won the national title in 2018. Does it seem like it's been over 2 decades since the Squirrels came on the scene?
No, it's pretty crazy. You know, we've had a lot of great kids, a lot of great families. We were talking about we're getting ready to start working on our new Hall of Fame class for next year, and I've sent out some messages to our first class, and sent out some messages to some of the sports writers and stuff. And it's pretty unique and pretty neat to to get some of these text messages back from guys and people about some of the guys that have played in our programs and some of the success we've had. So we've been extremely blessed to be surrounded by great people that help run the park, and great people that trust us with their kids, and obviously great people that have put on the Squirrel uniform and just been a part of something special over the last 21 years.
All right, tell us what's going on at Hill House with the Midwest Plains Regional. Not the first time that Babe Ruth Baseball has allowed you to host a regional. That's a really big deal.
Yeah, it's a really big deal. We always thought that this would probably be the pinnacle of what we would get to host, but obviously the last 2 years we got the opportunity to host the World Series, and so that was really awesome for us. But it's just so time consuming, so we kind of backed off. We got an opportunity to host this year, and it's kind of different. It's different than when we first started hosting too, because Babe Ruth is big in some areas, not so big in other areas. It's become really good in Southeast Missouri. We have such a great league. Kansas had traditionally, they've got some animosity amongst their people. They didn't send a team at the last minute. They have some difference of opinions, and so they didn't. But Colorado.
What state? Wait. What state did you say?
Kansas.
Kansas. Because they're always in the regional.
Yeah, this is the first year since I've been doing it that they don't have a representative here, and we found out last minute. So we've got 2 Colorado teams and 6 Missouri. Which obviously, you hear that and you're like, oh, that's not the talent level is probably as high as it's been in a long time. Obviously, we went to Iowa a couple of years ago, and the host state had 3 teams, and if you'd have put together an all-star team of those 3 teams, they wouldn't have been very good. So, we've got 6 Missouri teams here that could all win it. Marcus Cameron always brings a good team from Buckley. And we saw some of the kids from Centennial last night. Don't know much about them, but they had a couple kids get out of the car, and they obviously they look like really good baseball players. So if you're going to travel this far, you would think that you're going to try to have a chance to win. So and then the Revelers played really well last week. You got the Aces 18-year-old team, the Perfectos, and all these teams. Like we laugh and call it the Senior Babe Ruth trade deadline. A lot of these teams have picked up players over the course to better their rosters, and so you've got 4 or 5 really, really good, talented teams here in Southeast Missouri this weekend playing baseball. So it'd be a good opportunity for fans to come down, see some really good baseball, see some good arms. Glenn's got the grill fired up. We got 3 grills going. One of them's got breakfast on right now. One of them's got ribs on. One of them's got pork steaks on. And then, of course, we'll have burgers, brats, and hot dogs. So we try to do things right. We try to make it a great experience for fans and families. And obviously, it's always about kids. Everything that I've ever done in my life, after graduating was trying to do something that was a great experience for young men. So we feel like we do a good job of that, and this weekend will be no different. We just hope the weather cooperates.
Michael Minner, the head squirrel, getting set for the Midwest Plains Regional, which gets going 8 teams involved in the regional. Now, pool play, double elimination, fill everybody in on how this thing works.
Pool play is broken into 2 pools of 4. We've got an American and National division, and everybody plays 3 pool games. The top 2 teams in each pool will advance to Sunday's 4-team tournament, single elimination. And so somebody's going to have to win probably 4 games to get out of here. But you have to win 2 in a row on Sunday, and obviously you probably have to win 2 to get out of your pool. So good opportunity. We play at 6:30 tonight. Got the opening ceremonies before it. Play at 12:45 tomorrow and 12:45 on Saturday. We scheduled games early on Saturday, thinking that was the SEMO Ball Awards, and then we had some teams switch with us. We play the Revelers tomorrow night, and we have a number of kids that will be represented at the SEMO Ball Awards. So we moved that game up to 12:45 so that those kids can go and be a part of that special evening. So, that's kind of the reason for the early starts. But, there's going to be lots of great baseball. There's lots of great arms here. I guarantee you could put together a hell of a junior college baseball team from the talent that's here right now.
All right. Now, you say 3 grills going. Glenn Fennell is your grill master. 3 grills. That's kind of unbelievable.
Yeah, 3 grills. Now that he's back home, full time, he was like, these are some of the things I want to do. I said, I'm not going to tell you anything to do. You do whatever you want. We'll get the meat, and so our press box will be taken care of, and obviously when those pork steaks come off the grill and you can smell them, the stand's empty, and people make their trek to the concession stand, and I haven't heard anybody say they've had a bad one all summer. So he just does a phenomenal job for us. We're lucky to have him back home. He left after college. He was on our Final Four high school baseball team with James Nail, Ethan Browning, Marshall Stallings, Danny McKinney, Trey Watkins, those guys, and went off to college. Was going to major in education, and then got a job at Menards while he was in school, and things just kind of led to him being a big wig at Menards, and he's just such a trustworthy and hardworking young man. Things just kind of were better for him to take that full-time job. And so he moved up the ladder and went out to Springfield and was running a store. And I've been begging him to come back. And finally, now he's in his 30s, and I think he realized he wants to be around kids. And so he's still part-time at Menards in Cape, but he's come home. He's with us full-time. He's teaching middle school history and doing an hour of PE. And he's a middle school football coach. He's helping with the varsity football team. He was with the baseball team last year. And he is probably, if not the best, he's one of the 3 best people that you'll ever meet in the world, and just a great human being. And having him here has really, really helped us. And he wants this place to be great. He's so proud of Charleston, Missouri, and it being home, and he just absolutely loves it. So we're very, very fortunate to have a young man like that doing things and wanting what's best for kids. And obviously that joker can cook too, so that's a bonus.
Oh, he's phenomenal. His food is fantastic. Word on the street is that you may have the coldest Dr. Pepper in Southeast Missouri. Any accuracy to that?
Yeah, so I'm not sure we have any Dr. Pepper this weekend. We're obviously, whenever you're hosting this tournament, I think we maybe have a case left. But we're trying to run out of some things. I do know we have good stock in our Mountain Dew. We have good stock in the Pepsi, the Diet Mountain Dew, Gatorade, water. But we're not. This is our last weekend of baseball at Hillhouse Park until 2026. So we're going to try to be perfect and run out of things on Sunday. And no, we won't run out of food because we run on down to McLean's here in town, and they got the pork steaks ready for us. So but yes, we have the coldest Dr. Pepper on most days. But if they don't have Dr. Pepper, we'll have the coldest Mountain Dew or the coldest Pepsi, and we got energy drinks. So if you're stopping off, I see all these kids rolling up. Probably not the best thing to promote, but we have a load of energy drinks as well. So on this hot day, we got anything that you want to cool you off. Snow cones, with just everything that you could possibly want down in that concession, and we've got it.
All right, let's talk about your team real quick, Coach. You've been kind of 500 most of the year. That's where your record's sitting at as you get ready for potentially your season to end, or you get a World Series berth. And you've had 20 games rained out this summer. I can't ever remember you getting that many games rained out in a single summer. And you wanted to get one more doubleheader in this past Monday to kind of keep you sharp for the regional, but you said, hey, forget that. We need practice. And you actually have been holding practice rather than playing that doubleheader on Monday. Tell us about the readiness of your team and where you think you guys are.
Well, we've had so much rain. It's it's been wild. You know, we just we haven't competed at the level that we want to compete at. And, you know, most of the time, you know, we have tons of doubleheaders and we come in at 3:30 in the afternoon on those days, and we try to make sure that we're covering all the things that need to be covered to make us a good baseball team. And we were talking the other day of our 27 games. You know, we've only played 5 doubleheaders here, and we worked out early those games. You know, and things were looking good, and then we got the long spell of rain, and you know, and had a couple stints where we had, you know, just would only play 2 or 3 games in a week, and it's been tough on us. So we felt like it was important for us to practice this week. Come in, had a great day of practice, and then obviously we got about 1.5 inches of rain, and so we had to make sure and get rid of the practice day and be out here, you know, draining water off the field. So, but we had a very, very, very good practice Monday. Covered a lot of things and touched up on some of the things that probably just needed to be done a time or two. We worked on things for about 1.5 hours, just repeatedly, and I think we've ingrained in our head a couple of the things that we haven't been successful with that will make us a better team. So we obviously know that we can compete with anybody. We play a tough schedule. A lot of our losses are 1- and 2-run losses where you can pinpoint, you know, certain things that just didn't get the job done. But, you know, if we get on a roll and get to play in baseball the way that we're capable, we got a lot of the best players in Southeast Missouri. It just hasn't been a great successful summer. So, but we do know that we're capable, and if we get on a roll, we could make a run to the World Series and make a run at the World Series. We certainly believe that. So that's in our future. We're hoping that we have obviously saved our best baseball for the end, and if we haven't saved our best baseball for the end, then it's going to end quick. So.
All right, 6:15 for opening ceremonies. Tell us about the ceremonies on the field tonight at Hill House.
So we've got tonight is superhero night. You know, we've got a special jersey we're going to wear. We're going to honor Barry Aycock, who is the owner of A-Corp, who is our sponsor. We also are going to honor Mike McElroy, who's retiring this fall, who has been instrumental in this place being such a nice facility. He's worked forever, and Mr. Mike is close to 80, you know, and he's decided to retire, and so we're super grateful for him. We're going to honor some of our cops and some of our state patrolmen and our sheriffs, you know, the guys that work for the sheriff's office, you know, because those people, they keep us safe. And, you know, we've got Brenda Bickford, who was our school resource officer for 16 years. She retired this year, so we've got a lot of people that we need to make sure that they know that they're superheroes in our lives, and we're super appreciative. And then we'll meet all the teams, you know, and then we'll kick off, and hopefully we'll have a great baseball game with Centennial, Colorado.
All 3 grills fired up. They're getting ready to throw the first pitch at Hill House. Squirrels play at 6:30 tonight. We'll be down there soon, Coach. We'll see you then, and best of luck for a successful and dry regional.
Thanks, Eric. We appreciate it.
All right. That's the head squirrel, Michael Minner. And that's going to do it for us. We got a Friday huddle for you tomorrow. Mike Reddick, I don't know what he's been doing all week. He hasn't been doing shows. So we'll catch up with the lead singer of the Mike Reddick Band. He will rejoin us tomorrow. Again, we promoted it earlier. Should be a cool documentary about Freddie Freeman tonight, 7 o'clock on MLB Network. And so I'm looking forward to baseball at that time, so I've already got the DVR all set and ready to go to record that. We'll be back tomorrow. Hello to the lovely and talented Dawn Shawn. She's fired up for Squirrels baseball down in Charleston. Don't forget, Cape Catfish baseball, 6:35 tonight. They'll be back home, 2-game homestand. Rusty Hendricks will call the game here on SEMO ESPN. We've got Clinton and Friends coming up next.